Hi guys, come on in. Book club number 30. And then it's the weekend, so I don't know when I'll see you, but I just wanted to squeeze in a book club before the weekend. Hi everyone, come on in. Let's do book club number 30. We're talking about, of course, a radical awakening. So, people always ask me, why did I write this book and why did I feel so impassioned and why do I, keep going at this through these book clubs? And I always say, we women, this book is really geared for women. We women are at the crux and core of all intersections. We are the mothers, we are the caretakers. Even if we're not biological mothers, we just are the nurturers of the earth. So if our women are devoid of power and connection, and our women are not centered in their wholeness, then everyone will suffer, as we are. We're suffering today not because of dominating, exploitative, toxic masculinity. We are suffering today because the woman has not awakened. If we women awakened into our heart, into our power and our masculinity, of our feminine energy, which is nurturing and caretaking, with our masculine energy, which caretakes for ourselves and makes sure that people are taken care of, toxic masculinity will not be allowed to run rampant. The reason why toxic masculinity rules the earth right now is not because of evil men. Is because we women haven't woken up. Now, I'm not blaming us women. Please don't go like, oh, she's victim bashing and she's not taking our women's side. I'm so taking our women's side. That if we women woke up to the power we have as individuals and as a collective, we will not stay small. And because we won't stay small, the others won't be able to dominate. And we will come into an equilibrium and into an equanimity between both genders. The reason why men can get away with what they get away with is not because men are getting away with what they're getting away with. It's because they're just doing what they're doing. We need to wake up and call the shots. We need to call on each other. We women need to consolidate. So how do you wake up? Ultimately, there's only one answer. Ultimately, all roads lead to only one place, which is what this entire book really speaks to, which is self-worth, which is self-awareness, self-knowledge, self-love. That's it. I know it sounds so cliched, but let me tell you, it is the hardest thing in the world to do, what I'm saying. Because when you are grounded in self-love, self-honor, self-celebration, and self-worthiness, you will not allow yourself to be damaged anymore. Yes, you did, but not anymore. Somebody's asking how to handle jealousy. When we experience jealousy from other women, because we are so grounded in ourselves, we have two choices. We can either deal with it through neutrality, meaning don't do anything about it, it doesn't bother you because it has nothing to do with you, it's jealousy from the other person, or you simply can report back with compassion. You go higher. You see that the person is insecure, you see that the person is weak, and you can become the greater one. You don't have to though, but you certainly don't have to get upset and feel threatened, because you begin to understand that the other person is reacting from their false place. The other person is reacting from their weak spot. So how do we change our earth? We change our earth when women rise into their power. When women rise into their power, we push men back into their lane and we train our sons and daughters to be in their lane. And we train them how to deal with us. But when we don't know ourselves, when we are not connected to our deepest worth and our deepest celebration, How can we be in a relationship with anybody else? We can't. Because if we're not connected to our worth, then we are in the relationship to find our worth. If we're in the relationship to find our worth, then we are not authentic. Because we're using the relationship to bolster us. We're using the identity of being in the relationship to give us validation, to give us power. So how do you do this? How? You have to start. How do you start? You take courses. You go on a quest. You go on a journey. You find a therapist. You find a coach. You read this book and other self-help books that you read over and over again. Don't just read it one time. And then the language begins to seep in and it goes into your awareness. So on an offshoot, guys, last night I put all my self-help courses on a 50% discount sale with the code SAVE50, SAVE 50. Go to my website, go to courses. I have courses on conscious growth. I have two beautiful courses there. One is called Awaken Heart. One is called Year of Manifestation. 52 hours. Then I have meditations for 52 hours. Then I've bundled them together at a cheaper rate. Then I have a conscious intimacy course called Free to Be. 50% off. Then I have, what else do I have? I have tons and tons and tons of parenting courses. And then I've bundled them all together in different configurations. You can buy them and gift them. You can buy bundles. And then I have Conscious Cleanse. There are lots of courses. So if you go to my course page, everything is 50% off. So when somebody in the world, somebody's asking this question, stalls your progress because of their jealousy, again, you have two choices. You can either be neutral and continue on, or you can take action. Now, what kind of action do you take? You can take two kinds of action. Action that's advocacy for yourself or advocacy for her. So advocacy for yourself, you have to go and shine brighter. You have to go to your boss and talk about it. You have to advocate for yourself, or you advocate for the other, saying, okay, she's just, go up to her and say, hey, I see that you and I are having issues. Let's talk. I don't know what the situation is. But what I'm trying to say is that you can always do something about it. There's always a choice. There are always going to be quote unquote jealous people. Don't think it's only happening to you. There's jealousy all the time. There's betrayal all the time. When I was younger and people used to betray me, I used to have a woe is me, oh, it's only happening to me. And then I realized, it will keep happening to you until you learn better, but it'll still happen, even if you're really smart. People will keep betraying you. Somebody will steal your lipstick, or somebody will steal $2,000 or $15,000. It doesn't matter. They will keep doing what they do because the world is full of unconscious, scary as F people, okay? You cannot avoid that. You're here on earth, there will be scary people. There will be jealous people. There will be mean people. The point is not that you keep finding a little safe bubble. The point is that you accept this is the way of the earth. This is the way of human nature. And then you look at your choices. What are my choices? The answer is not to seclude yourself so you never experience the pain of human unconsciousness. Human unconsciousness is everywhere, guys. The answer is to know that you have choices. That you have choices in what you do. You have choices in how you react. You have choices in where you go next. So the answer is not in hiding or being upset with other people. The answer is only in what choices you have that you can do. That's the only way to do it. So your power, your inherent inner worth is going to determine the experience of your relationships. It's not going to determine the relationship. You may always attract shitty people, but your worth, your inner worth will reflect the experience of your relationship. Do you understand what I'm saying? People are always going to be people. Shitty people, amazing people, crappy people, gorgeous people, lovely people, crappy people. It's all ugly people. It's always going to be there. Ugly meaning in spirit. People are always going to come to you at different points on their continuum of consciousness. It is not about what kind of person you attract or who you attract. It's how you experience the relationship. That's where your consciousness comes into play. So with somebody who's crappy, ugly in spirit, and an asshole, your experience is going to immediately give you red flags, and you're immediately going to make choices because you are empowered to listen to your inner voice. Do you understand? So everything depends on your inner state of consciousness. That's what this book is about. It's the radical part of your awakening is that there is no one to blame. There is no one on the outside. It is your consciousness that dictates the level of your experience, the quality of your experience. And you always have a choice how you experience an experience. And that is determined by your level of consciousness. If you raise your level of consciousness, and what does that mean again? What does it mean to raise your level of consciousness? It means to be deeply connected to your inner voice, where your relationship to your own voice trumps your religion, your education, your family, your mother, your father, your children, your lover, your culture. Your relationship to your own voice is idiosyncratic, it is unique, it is clear, and it is independent of anyone on the outside. That is what it means to have a high level of consciousness. When you can hear yourself over the din of everyone else. That is the first part to consciousness. And the second part to consciousness is when you realize that your attachments are all illusions. None of your attachments are who you are. We are essence. We are beyond our attachments. We are above our attachments. Our attachments are false identifications. Now there's a big trend about, call me they, them, and, So coming from a spiritual perspective, it is completely one more thing to identify with. Spirituality is all about not identifying. Call me anything you want. It's not who I am. So I understand what people are trying to do on the material level, on the psychological level. But on the spiritual level, it doesn't matter. You can call me a baboon, gorilla, a tree, a parrot. Actually, all of those are better than me. All of that is better than me. When you are upset, like, don't call me that. Don't call me Jewish. I am not Jewish. I am Catholic. You're just an idiot because you're just identified with that and trying to be better than the other. And neither are true. They're all just illusions, all labels. Yes? So, we need to understand that who we are is beyond identification, beyond labels. And when you get to that place, which you can only get to through meditation, there is no other way, okay? There is no other way, I'm telling you. When you get to that place that you are beyond identifications, then you begin to live on a plane beyond and above the matrix. So then, when people are assholes, you're like, oh, another asshole. Hello, asshole. And then you check in with yourself. Am I being an asshole? Right? You're always honest. Because you don't need to pretend like you're in a fabulous relationship. You don't need to pretend that you're fabulous. You're okay. Because these are not important anyway. What people think of you in this moment and what you think of yourself in this moment is not even relevant. Who cares? You're going to die. I'm going to die. We get so twisted out of shape. What did you call me? What did you say? How dare you say that? I am not that, I am this. No, you are nothing. Okay, you are nothing. You're dust. Not even dust. Dust is too heavy. You're like completely like the tail of the dust speck. Okay? If we understood how irrelevant we are, we would shut the hell up and just enjoy the present moment. But because we think we are all that, because we have grown up in this world that has believed that the human is on the top of the world, we literally think we are so special. And we're not special, people. To the universe, we are like not even a particle on an ant, okay? Not even a particle on a grain of sand. But because religion and the current era, because we're so smart, has told us that we're so smart, we think we're so smart. We're not smart at all. We're actually completely messed up. If you look at the earth, we have destroyed the earth. Our generation, people who are 40s and above. Not the millennials that you're blaming, not these entitled brats that we're raising. It's not their fault they're entitled. Who created Uber Eats on their app? Our generation. Who created the damn iPhone? Our generation. So we are ruining our earth because we think we're so smart. The minute we become wise, we realize how dumb we are, and we stop this nonsense. And each person begins to say, no more, no more, no more, no more. Anyway, that's what I'm trying to do, is tell you no more from this book, A Radical Awakening. It is a book to show you all the bullshit you've believed in that you need to now say no more to. And at the core of it all is the lie that you are not worthy, is the lie that you think you belong to another, or that you should belong to another, or that you are the others. You are your child's mother, you are your parents' daughter, you are your lover's wife or husband. All wrong. You are that only in the material form-based world to just say. Your true essence is none of that. Your true essence is none of that. Your true essence is just energy, you want to call it essence, being. So allow people to be assholes and walk away. Allow yourself to make choices. Don't resist and ask, why are you an asshole? No, you go, hello asshole, now I have choices. Do I want to talk to an asshole? No. So who's asking you to stay talking? Oh, but it's my mom. Okay, who cares? What is their level of consciousness? Don't go by the role. Go by the level of consciousness. If the level of consciousness is not one where you are loving yourself, why are you still there? Right? You're still there because you are not in touch with your own self-love. This is why consciousness is deeply connected to self-worth and self-love. So this book is all about putting yourself first, because if you don't put yourself first, you're not authentic. You're just using the relationship to give you validation and worth. This book is about giving yourself permission to know how culture is lying to you. It's giving you permission to say no more to all the aspects in your life that you don't want. But it's not about telling the other to go away. It's about picking yourself up and moving away. You always have choices. If you're sitting right now in your little family or big family, in your little sorry self, thinking, I don't have choices. She has choices because she's Indian, or whatever the hell you've decided about me, or your neighbor, or your best friend, thinking that they have choices, that's a lie. When I had difficult choices to make and I didn't want to make my choices, I also was like, no one understands me. My choices are so much more difficult. That was a lie. They weren't more difficult. They were just choices that I did not want to make. And because I didn't want to make it, I acted like my choices were extra difficult. Like the universe had conspired to be against this very special girl called Shefali. All bullshit. I'm not special. There's no such thing as the universe conspiring to be against anybody or for anybody. The universe is for the universe. It's not for the ants, the body parts of ants that we are. Sorry to tell you. The universe is for the universe. We are in the universe's place. So we better bow down to the universe, not expect the universe to bow down to us. So we are here to understand that there is no one out there that is evil. We always have a choice. If we don't have a choice, it's because we don't want to have a choice. We want to stay asleep. I promise you, your choice is staring at you right in the face. But you don't want to take the choice because the choice may mean being alone a little bit. The choice may mean not having as much money and comfort. The choice may mean losing your reputation a little bit. Therefore, you're going to act like there's no choice. No, the choice is always, always staring at you. Remember what I'm saying? At least be honest with yourself. There's always a choice. There's always a way. You just don't like the choice. You just don't like the way. So say your choice is to use this phone. Okay, I have two phones. So use this phone because this phone is not working properly. So you tell me, use this phone. And I keep saying, oh, I can't use this phone. There's no choice. I'm like, no, you can use this phone. No, I can't. And then I discover for myself, oh, the reason I don't want to use this phone is because it has poor quality. I don't like it as much. So you did have a choice. You just didn't like the choice. Okay. So we are infinitely powerful, really, in our own little lives. To create any experience we like, we just have to do our own work. No one is going to tell us how to think about ourselves, how to love ourselves after the age of 7. Okay? It's our business after this. So I tell people, okay, from 7 to 21, I'll let you complain about your parents. But after 21, okay, 28, that's it. I really don't allow people to complain too much about their parents because we have to do the work ourselves. We have to do the work for ourselves. So, listen to this book club if you missed it, talking about a radical awakening. And all my courses are 50% off. I have courses that are 52 hours of intense lectures and meditations. I've put bundles together to make them cheaper. If you put the code SAVE50 in checkout, yes, the 50 hasn't been taken off when you see my sales page. You have to put in the code, and then all my courses are 50% off, and there are lots of bundles, so explore them on my page. Go to courses. They're beautifully laid out, and they're beautiful bundles. You can buy all my parenting courses for some parent you know as a bundle and save like a lot of hundreds of dollars. So go check them out. Thank you for joining me. Grab a copy of A Radical Awakening. See you when I see you. Bye, guys.